Rook lost $100. Vex made $100. The dungeon punished both of them.
Punished, I won.
And I failed.
Incorrect. You both risked 10%.
Their stop was only 2% away. So where did 10% come from? By the end of this trial, you will be able to find it before it hurts your account. Market Dungeon, Episode 1. The Leverage Gate. Rook and Vex were not master and student. They were new traders, former training partners, and friendly rivals entering the same market trial with the same $1,000 account.
5 times leverage. $5,000 position. The stop is only 2% away.
We still have not decided how much of the account we can afford to lose.
The stop is 2%. That is the risk.
2% of what?
A useful question. Price risk, account risk, margin, and exposure are related. They are not interchangeable.
Both traders took the $5,000 position. Rook reached the stop and lost $100. Vex caught an equal move upward and gained 100. Opposite results hid the same sizing decision.
A win is still a win.
Profit changes capital. Profit does not certify discipline.
Freeze the outcome and inspect the trade. The account is $1,000. The position is $5,000. Entry is 100. Stop is 98. We will follow the money at risk. First, calculate the number of units. $5,000 of position value divided by a $100 entry price equals 50 units. Second, calculate risk per unit. Entry minus stop is 100 minus 98. So each unit can lose $2 before the planned exit. Third, multiply 50 units by $2 of risk per unit. If the stop executes near the planned price, the gross planned loss is $100. Fourth, compare that loss with the account. 100 divided by 1,000 is 10% account risk on a single trade. This is the hidden mistake. The market only needed to move 2%, but position size converted that move into a 10% account loss. A tight stop does not rescue an oversized position.
So I did not lose because the stop was wrong. I lost too much because the size was wrong.
Correct diagnosis. Now survive the sequence, not merely one trade.
Watch account HP. After one 10% loss, 1,000 becomes 900. That hurts, but the deeper problem appears when ordinary losing trades arrive in a row. A second 10% loss is taken from the smaller balance. 900 becomes 810. After only 3 consecutive losses, the account falls to $729. More than 27% of the starting capital has vanished. Now compare 3 fixed fraction risk budgets starting from the same $1,000 account: 1%, 2%, and 10%. After 3 losses, 1% risk leaves about $970. 2% leaves about $941. 10% leaves $729. After 6 losses, 1% leaves about $941. 2% leaves about $886. 10% leaves only about $531. After 10 consecutive losses, 1% risk leaves about $904. 2% leaves about $817. 10% leaves roughly $349. Losses and recoveries are asymmetric. Lose 10% and you need about 11.1% to return. Lose 25% and you need 1/3. Lose half and you must double what remains. Inside this level 1 trial, the dungeon uses 1% as a conservative training risk budget. It is not a magic number and it is not universal advice. Traders may choose less or more depending on goals, volatility, experience, and their ability to absorb loss. The important habit is the order of operations. Choose the maximum planned account loss first. Then use the entry and stop to calculate position size. Do not pick a large position and invent a risk explanation afterward. For this $1,000 trial, 1% is $10. The risk per unit is $2. 10 divided by 2 gives 5 units, and 5 units at $100 creates a $500 position. This is planned risk, not a guarantee. Stops can execute at a worse price. Fees, spread, slippage, funding, and platform rules can increase the actual loss. A real plan leaves room for those costs.
Position compass acquired. The leverage gate remains.
Leverage lets a trader control exposure with less capital committed as margin. But leverage is not automatically the same thing as account risk. Start with identical exposure, $500. At 1 times leverage, that exposure may require about $500 of margin. At 5 times, about $100. At 10 times, about $50, before platform-specific requirements and buffers. If each position contains the same 5 units, enters at 100, and exits at 98, the price-based loss is $10 in all 3 examples. The margin changed. The exposure did not. The trap appears when available leverage tempts the trader to enlarge exposure. 5 units risk $10 at this stop. 50 units risk $100. Leverage opened the door. Position size decided how much danger entered.
So 5 times leverage was not the whole mistake.
Using it to control 5 times my account without checking the loss was the mistake.
Correct. Margin tells you what the platform requires. Risk tells you what the account may lose.
Your turn. The account is $2,000. The level 1 risk budget is 1% or $20. Entry is 50. Stop is 48. Should the position be 5, 10, or 25 units? You have 8 seconds. The answer is B, 10 units. The stop distance is $2 per unit. $20 divided by 2 equals 10 units, creating a $500 position.
If you need more time, pause before the answer. Speed is never a substitute for a checked calculation.
The dungeon offered one final test. Rook followed the position compass. 5 units, $10 of planned risk. The trade reached his stop.
Another loss, but this one did not control me.
Vex chose 25 units instead. The market moved $2 in her favor, and she gained $50. She smiled before Ledger finished measuring the decision.
Profit again.
Rook, account HP, 990. Discipline, plus 20. Vex, account HP, 1050. Risk corruption, plus 15.
You rewarded his loss and corrupted my win.
Profit detected. Discipline not detected. One trade cannot prove that either strategy has an edge.
Before every trade, choose account risk, measure entry to stop, calculate risk per unit, size the position, and finally check total exposure and leverage. Outcome comes later. Process comes first.
Profit does not prove discipline. Loss does not prove failure.
Now answer the question Ledger cares about. Who would you trust with your account? Rook after the discipline loss, or Vex after the reckless win? Tell us why, not only who. Beyond the leverage gate, a green candle begins to run without them. In the next episode, Rook and Vex face the FOMO Dragon. When price escapes without you, will you wait or chase?
Next trial, the cost of chasing.